boy Lee Triple X, and we're back tonight with part 2 of our amplifier repair. Alright, so in part 1 was our Audiovox amplifier, and we identified that this film capacitor right there was damaged, right? And we needed to change it. So the things here, well, the tools you're gonna need to perform this repair, you're gonna need your handy dandy soldering iron. I have right there in my bottle. I don't have a solder iron holder, and we have sort of pliers right here. Alright, pliers once again. Right, and our handy dandy drill to remove those MOSFETs, right? Alright, so we're gonna pull everything apart, start to remove these MOSFETs. Alright, so I'm just gonna speed things up and quickly remove this MOSFET, and I'll get back when I finish doing that. And we're gonna flip this circuit board over, and we're gonna try and remove that capacitor. Alright, quick update, guys. So you want to remove these heat spreaders right here, these heat spreaders on top of the MOSFETs, and put them right above in order to match them back easily. So I'll put that one there, and this second one I'm gonna remove it. Right, remove it, and you're gonna put it right there, just like that. See that? Okay, so that's gonna be easy for you to match them back up when you're reinstalling everything. Alright, I'm finished removing the heat spreaders from the MOSFET. You can see all gone here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this jumper cable right here. Let's just see if I can get a better grip on that. I'll hold it someplace right here. Alright, that's removed. Same thing with this one. Alright, so now we're ready to remove the board. Remember, the MOSFETs actually have a plastic below them as to avoid contact with the metal, which is the housing, and we also have a little bit of thermal compound on them for cooling, heat transfer. Alright, so see if you can let those remain intact while they remove the board. It should be good. Alright, so I'm gonna cut the video once again and come back when I flipped over the board. Alright guys, so this is the board, the circuit board completely removed, and right here is our capacitor, our film capacitor. So we're gonna use the soldering iron and remove it, and we're gonna look at replacement one from our scrap equalizer that I have here. Just get that here. So we're seeing a lot of film capacitor there, so we just need a 100 volt film capacitor to actually go in and to replace that one. Right, so we're gonna look at 100 volt from these arrays of capacitor right here. Those are the green ones. Those are the film capacitor. These capacitors are electrolytic capacitors. These are not the one that we need the film capacitors. Alright guys, so I have my multimeter right here and I have it set it to k ohms, that's kilo ohms, that's 1000 ohms. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna test that capacitor before I remove it. It's not a true test when you're testing the capacitor on the board. The best way to test it is to actually remove one leg, and then but we know it's bad. You can see that it's damaged. So right there, testing it in the board, I'm getting 0. That means we have a short right there. Continuity. Alright, so I'm gonna remove it and then we're gonna test it again after I remove it. But I can guarantee it's damaged, because as you saw in the previous video, you know it's actually damaged. So alright, let's go ahead and remove it now with our soldering iron. Let's remove it and then we do a test again. Alright, so I'm just gonna remove it now with my soldering iron. Just gonna remove it now with my soldering iron. So yeah, and I'll get back when it's completely removed. There, I removed it. Alright, I'm gonna grab it from the other side with my hand and pull it while I lift the soldering off the legs. Alright peeps, so we have it here. So this is the damaged film capacitor. You can see that the inside is actually protruded. It's protruded from within the housing. There's the number is a J100. Yeah, so it actually can and the J100, that signifies a 100 volts, and I'm gonna replacing it with one from our scrap equalizer, if we can find a 100 volt, and we're gonna see how things go. So I'm gonna do a test on it right now and we're gonna see what reading we get. If it's shorted, grab our multimeter again. I'm gonna set it to k ohms and we are going to test it. So what we're looking for, if we see all zeros, that means it's shorted. If we're seeing it climbing, that means it's still good. Alright, so anything above 0 and climbing, that means we're good. So let me just see if I can keep this phone on multimeter while I put these probes on the legs to test it. Alright, okay, let's go. And we're getting 0, so this is definitely shorted. So I'm gonna show you what a good one looks like when we test it before putting it in. So this, yeah, as you can see, it's all 0, so this is definitely shorted. Alright, so here we have our capacitors that I removed from our scrap equalizer, and this is the damaged one right here. So you can see the number on this one, that it's a 2A104J. which is equivalent to this, which is the 104J100. It's the same thing. So what we did is we've set our multimeter to nanofarads. So the NF stands for nanofarad, and we're gonna do a test on it now to see these capacitors are actually rated 0.1 microfarad. So to convert microfarads to nanofarad, 0.1 microfarads equals 100 nanofarads. Alright, so we can actually test it now with our multimeter set to nanofarads to see if we get 100 or within the range of that. And let's go. Let me just see if I can focus here, get my phone. Alright, so most definitely we're getting 103.4 nanofarads, and that's within the 100 range. That's acceptable. Alright, so I'm gonna test the other one, which is this one right now. Let me just get this focused on the multimeter. Alright, and it's the same. This is actually a 102.7. Alright, so I'm gonna test this bad one now that removed from the amplifier circuit board, and let's see how much we get on the multimeter. You see, we're getting a lot of random numbers. It's actually giving me a 0.1. So this is definitely bad. This is definitely bad. This is definitely bad. Right, so we're just gonna go ahead now and install one of these known good ones. We're gonna install one of these known good ones, and we're gonna actually test the amplifier after and see, yeah, if we're good. I haven't done any other testing on the board. I've actually seen a problem right now on the board while looking at it. As you can see, you see this trace right here. This trace right here is burnt off the board. We're gonna have to actually jump it using a wire to jump it from here to, where is it, here, jumping it from there to here. But we're gonna do some testing first to see if we have any other component that is blown on the board. I have a feeling that it's the film capacitor. It shorted and it burst the trace here on the board. Alright, so let me just do this test and see what we have here. So that trace, we're gonna do some tracing right now. So that's coming from one of our resistors there, and it's going to where now? Going right over to here. That's one of the legs. Seems like one of the legs on the transformer. Alright, so that's one of the legs on the transformer. So I'm just gonna do that little jump and then see what happens. Alright, so I'll continue the video once I've made that jump and install the film capacitor right there that I removed the old one. And I'm gonna fire up the amplifier and see if it's good. Alright, so we have finished soldering on that jumper wire for the lead here that had burnt off. because of the short in film capacitor. You can see we soldered that down good and neat right here. I'm gonna put some electrical tape just to, you know, secure this a little bit more. And let me show you, I had installed that film capacitor right there. And that's it right there. I've installed it, and the thing to do now is to actually connect it to a power source, 12 volt power source, and just check it and see if we're good. Alright, so that's the next thing right now. So let's see, we're finished. Alright, so let's fit it back up. Alright, so we actually connected with, so bolt back down all, so bolt back all the heat spreaders over the MOSFETs. We connected our power cables, and we're gonna be powering these amps off this from this 12 volt car battery. Right, so this is the test that we're gonna do, and we're looking to see that power light comes on, and not the protect light over here. This is the protect light. Alright, so if we connect our negative and positive cables, right, so I've actually bridged the remote power on for the amplifier with the positive. When you're stringing it up in your vehicle, you want to have this power, the remote power, coming from your ignition when you actually switch your car in ignition to turn on the accessories. Alright, so but for this is just a test, so we're just gonna see if it's gonna work. And let me see if I can pull this on. Alright, we're actually getting that red light there. Don't know if you can see it. I have the flash on the camera, so you might not be seeing the red light, but it's on. Alright, so the next test that we're gonna do now, we're actually gonna connect a speaker to this amplifier and see if it's gonna play, give us any sound output. Alright, I'm actually feeling it now to feel if any parts are warming up. That's the usual heat coming from it. Alright, so that's the other test. Alright, so guys, here we have it all stringed up and it's playing. So yeah, it's working. Amplifier is fixed and good to go. Connected up. Have the light in the power, and yeah, we're good.